To show respect to parents is one of the 10 divine moral imperatives in the Old Testament. It was quoted by Apostle Paul in one of his epistles, which explicitly expresses both its continuity and applicability for Christians in the New Testament. Further, Jesus in the Gospels also affirmed the necessity of it, but we find an occasion where Jesus seemed to violate this very principle. In John 2 verse 3, Jesus, his mother Mary, and his disciples have attended a wedding in Cana of Galilee. It ran out of wine, and Mary wanted Jesus to get involved and remedy the situation. But she got a response from Jesus which many have thought, especially skeptics, to be rude and impolite. Then verse 4 reads, "And Jesus said unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come." Was Christ really rude based on this verse? Can you imagine yourself calling your mother simply woman or babae? This doesn't really sound respectful or magalang, does it? Now, this has led critics like D.C. Mackenzie to conclude this way. On this, he wrote the following: "He told people to honor thy father and thy mother, yet he was one of the first to ignore his own maxim by saying to his mother in John 2:4, Woman, what have I to do with thee?" Imagine someone talking to his own mother in such a disrespectful manner and addressing her by such an impersonal noun as woman. Talk about an insolent offspring. Jesus needs to practice some parental respect. The problem, however, with his criticism is imposing a 21st century English-speaking context to a word used in the 1st century Greek-speaking context. What it conveyed then is not actually the same as what it conveys today. The Greek word for woman in John 2:4 is gunai, and we find that Jesus also used it to address like the Syrophoenician women, the woman with hemorrhage, the Samaritan woman at the well, and Mary Magdalene after his resurrection without any hint of disrespect. On the word gunai, the Expositor's Greek Testament explains, in the Greek tragedians, it is constantly used in addressing queens and persons of distinction. Augustus addresses Cleopatra as gunai. Gill's exposition of the entire Bible concurs. Calling her woman was no mark of disrespect, it being an unusual way of speaking with the Jews when they showed the greatest respect to the person spoken to, and was used by our Lord when he addressed his mother with the greatest tenderness and strongest affection. Adam Clarke also noted, "Certainly no kind of disrespect is intended, but on the contrary, complaisance, affability, tenderness, and concern, and in this sense it is used in the best Greek writers." So contrary to what critics said, Jesus addressing his mother woman or gunai in the 1st century context was never rude or impolite, but was a highly respectful and affectionate mode of address. So this is not really a question of ethics, but a question of culture. How we use and understand the word today is not exactly the same as how people used and understood it before. But how about Jesus' next words? What have I to do with thee? Translating it to Filipino seems does not help but actually worsen the case. Anong pakialam ko sa iyo? This does not sound medyo bastos or a bit rude, but talagang bastos or completely rude, especially if it was spoken to one's own mother. But far from the truth, for this Filipino translation does not grasp its original intent. The complete phrase in Greek is ti amoi kai soi, and its literal rendering would be what to me and to you, or ano ito sa akin at sa iyo. What Jesus intended to say is not anong pakialam ko sa iyo, or what have I to do with thee, but anong pakialam natin dito, or what have we to do with this, since Mary wanted him to get directly involved in the incident, but his time is not yet come. Yet out of his respect to his mother, Jesus complied and performed his first recorded miracle. Jesus, in calling her mother woman, was never rude or impolite, but highly respectful and affectionate in the light of its biblical and cultural context. Yet using the same address is quite inappropriate in our time. However, the point is this: as Christians, we should emulate Christ in loving and respecting our parents, though how imperfect they are. Tell and show our parents that we really love them before it's too late.